Hi there, it's Jennifer, and I'm here today to do a different kind of a video. This is in response to a question from one of my viewers. It was from Marine Mom. I don't know your first name, Marine Mom, but anyway, hi. And she had watched one of my tag videos, and there were lots of questions about food, and several of the questions, my response was, you know, that I didn't like it or wasn't a fan of or whatever. I think I had said that I wasn't a fan of chicken, and I think I said that I didn't eat, like, one of the questions was snickerdoodles or sugar cookies, and I said neither. And so there were a lot of things where I said that I wasn't crazy about the food. So her question to me was if I could do a video about the kinds of foods I do like to eat. So anyway, hopefully this will be interesting for some of you. But anyway, so I thought I would just kind of go through the kinds of foods that I eat. But let me just tell you that, first of all, even though it sounded like it on that 100 questions video, I'm not a very picky eater. There are very few foods that if you put them in front of me, I would say, I don't think I'll eat that. It doesn't mean that I love everything, but there are, I'm just not that picky. If I went to somebody's house and they served me ham, I would eat ham. I just don't happen to love ham, and so I don't fix it at home. And probably the only thing I can think of off the top of my head right now that I really don't like and have not found a way of fixing it so that I would like it is Brussels sprouts. My husband loves Brussels sprouts, but I've just never found a way to eat them. I always try too. So for example, I used to, for the longest time, not like asparagus, but now I've realized that if it's done on the grill, it's yummy. So so I do like it. But there are very few foods that I will actually just say, no, I'm not gonna touch that, because I'm just not very picky. So, but there are definite things that I like over other things. So let's go through some of those. So let's start with the good stuff, like desserts and things like that. I don't feel the need to eat sugary things all the time. I'm much more of a starchaholic, and give me a bowl of pasta any day over a bowl of ice cream, and I would eat that. But I do like all things chocolate, preferably milk chocolate, although I do like dark chocolate as well. I like cheesecake. I like homemade chocolate chip cookies. I love Oreos. I try not to keep stuff like that in the house because I will eat it. And if it's cookies, I definitely have to have my cookies dipped in milk. So I can have a whole bag of Oreos in my house, and if I don't have milk, I'm not touching it. So because I really want to dip my Oreo cookies in milk. So I try to keep a lot of things that are my very favorite things out of my house because I know myself and I know I'll just keep eating it until it's gone. So, okay, so let's start with, let's go on to breakfast. So breakfast foods, one thing that I currently have in my house now that I try not to keep in my house a lot is I love bagels with cream cheese, particularly Einstein's bagel, the everything bagel kind, with onion, chive, cream cheese. Love that, toasted of course. Love bagels, but they're just all bread, you know, and a lot of it, so which is why I try not to have bagels around my house all the time. Most of the time these days I've been drinking green smoothies, and those are smoothies that have spinach greens that are blended up with water and then 3 different kinds of fruit, and those are really good and a great way to get all of your nutrition in for the day. I'm going to do a video on that. I think sometime in May I'm going to do a video about green smoothies, but anyway, I like those. And if I'm out to eat at a restaurant for breakfast, then I really love Eggs Benedict. Love hollandaise sauce, just yummy. So, okay, then lunch is probably the most problematic meal of the day for me. I'm not a huge fan of sandwiches. I don't know why, but I just have never been a huge fan of sandwiches. I will eat Subway sandwiches, and I had mentioned in that other video that the Schlotzsky's original sandwich on sourdough with Louisiana hot sauce, makes my mouth water just talking about it. I love hot things. I love Tabasco sauce on things. And yeah, so anything that's hot and spicy, love that. But usually for lunch, what I will do is kind of have an assortment of kind of snacky things. So I might grab an apple and some nuts, or some kind of fruit and some cheese and crackers, or you know, anything like that. Oh, that's another thing. I'm a big, huge freak about cheese. I love cheese. I love pretty much any kind of cheese. So, and anything that is cheesy, that has cheese on it. So yeah, love that. But lunches are really kind of a mishmash of things for me. Okay, so then if we move on to dinner, as I mentioned before, I love pasta. I love pasta if it's cheesy. I love it if it's a seafood pasta and not so cheesy. There's one particular pasta recipe that I love to make in the summer because I can get some of the ingredients from my yard, from my garden. But you take fresh dill and chop it up, put it in a bowl, put in some feta cheese, about a pint of cherry tomatoes cut in half, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper. I think that's it. Then you boil up some penne, drain it, and while it's still hot, you dump it in with all those other ingredients and mix it up, and the heat from the pasta kind of melts the cheese and warms everything up, and that is so good, especially in the summer when you have fresh, local ingredients that taste really good. Because I think a tomato in the middle of winter tends to taste like nothing, and so I love to have that in the summer. So any kind of pasta, really love pasta. Then also I am a fan of seafood. I love pretty much any kind of seafood, and I also like fish, particularly salmon. Love salmon cooked just about any possible way. There's one way that I make it where it's got like Dijon mustard and some different spices, and it's cooked that way. There's another one that's probably my favorite recipe for salmon, and you take an orange and get the zest of the orange, mix it with a little sugar, salt, and pepper, and put it over the top of a piece of salmon, and then stick it in the refrigerator for about 8 hours. So that when it grills, it's kind of caramelized on top, really yummy. And you serve on top of that a citrus salsa that has crushed pineapple, a chopped up orange, jalapeno pepper, cilantro, and a shallot. I think that's what's in it. Anyway, so you serve that on top of this grilled salmon. Oh, so yummy. Okay, then let's see, what other kinds of food. Oh, okay, so I mentioned in the other video that I'm not a big fan of chicken. And I think it's because it's hard to cook chicken well. Especially a chicken breast, which is really thick in some parts and thin in the other. In order to get the thick part completely cooked all the way through, part of the chicken's gonna be overcooked, and I don't like that. So I do like chicken wings, and especially if they're spicy, hot. Like just like so that it makes my face get a light sweat. I just love that. Now, if it scalds my skin, burns my lips, I don't like that so much, but if it makes me sweat a little bit, I love that. Fried chicken, yeah, it's good. I try not to eat it very much because it's fried, but I've struggled with my weight my whole life, so I have to kind of be conscious about things like that. But and so I actually really like chicken piccata, and the thing about chicken piccata is that you take a mallet and you smash the chicken breast so that it's all one thickness, and then it cooks evenly. And I was recently watching a television show that I like that's on Food Network. It's called The Kitchen, and they were talking about grilling your chicken after you pound it to all one even thickness. And I'm gonna try that because I think that's the thing I don't like about chicken on the, especially, well, any kind, but chicken on the grill, is that it's really hard to get the whole thing cooked through without having some of it be overcooked. So if you take a mallet, and a little tip here, you put saran wrap on top of it, and then you pound it with the mallet so it doesn't, fly all over the place, and get it all one even thickness, and then you can spice it up the way you want to and put it on the grill. So I think that might change what I think about chicken, so I'm gonna try that. Then, let's see, I do like red meat. I like a good steak. I like it cooked medium, not medium, yeah, medium rare. I also will eat a lot, I make a lot of different things that have ground beef in them. And let's see, a few years back, my husband who hunts, he got an elk, and boy, an elk steak that is cooked just right, it melts in your mouth like butter. And it's really, really lean. So when you grill it, you have to be very careful not to overcook it. 3 minutes on one side, 4 minutes on the other, not a second longer, and it's perfect. So I do love that. And then, what else? Okay, pork. I like a lot of pork. I'm not a huge fan of sausage, although I will eat sausage. So if somebody served me a spaghetti that had sausage in the sauce, or if there was sausage on a pizza or whatever, I would eat that. I'm just not crazy about it. I do try to make it from time to time because my husband really likes sausage. But I like pork chops and pork tenderloin, and there's this really good recipe I make for jerk pork sandwiches. And so you put jerk seasoning and thyme, is that what it is? And salt and pepper on a pork roast in the crock pot with a cup of water, and just let it cook for like 9 hours on low. And then you shred it all up and then mix in a little lime juice into it, and then you serve it with this really yummy sauce that has mayonnaise and red peppers and garlic and lime juice, and then put that on a bun with a few slices of bell pepper, not green, but like yellow or orange in particular. Red would be fine too, but really yummy jerk pork sandwiches. So I'm trying to think if I've forgotten anything. Did I? No, I think I mentioned, well, I don't know if I forgot, sorry. But, did I mention earlier that I love cheese? Pretty much any kind of cheese. No, let's talk about fruits and vegetables. Okay, so I love pretty much any fruit. I would say that my least favorite fruit would be melons, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew melon. I can live without those, although I don't hate them. I love berries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries. I like apples and bananas and oranges and pineapple, and so all the fruit stuff is good for me. And then vegetables are a little bit tricky for me. I'm not a huge fan of vegetables. It's part of why I like to drink green smoothies, because I can get a whole bunch of vegetables in a smoothie that tastes like fruit. So, but I do grow a vegetable garden in the summer. I love tomatoes. I have several tomato plants that are out there getting going right now. I love tomatoes, but not if they're not in the middle of winter when they have no flavor. I do grow one kind of tomato called a San Marzano. It sort of looks like a Roma tomato. Cut it in half, drizzle it, cut a bunch of them in half with the cut side up, drizzle it with olive oil, salt and pepper. You can throw some thyme on there, and you put it in the oven at 450 for 15 minutes, and then leave it. Turn the oven off and don't open the door, and it turns to like sun-dried tomatoes, oven-dried tomatoes, and then I freeze those in Ziploc bags, and so then I can have this really yummy, fresh tasting tomatoes throughout the winter when tomatoes don't taste that good when you buy them at the store. And then I grow peas and beans and summer squash and lots of different things, and I think it's all about the preparation. Well, no, I think it's first about the food being local and in season, so that helps vegetables taste better, and then it's about the preparation. So I do eat a lot of vegetables in the summertime, do a lot of stuff on the grill with vegetables, and vegetables are probably the thing I have to kind of force myself to eat more of, because it's not just something that I gravitate to. I never just say, oh, I'm really craving a carrot. So I don't ever say that. But they're good for you, so I try to figure out ways to eat them. So I think I've covered everything there. And anyway, if you know what might be fun here? If you have a favorite recipe, some simple little thing that you know off the top of your head, go ahead and list it in the comments below. It might be fun for us to share some ideas because I've shared with you a few of my favorites. So yeah, share those in the comments below. I hope this was somewhat interesting to you as you watch this video. If you're not subscribed to my channel, just hit that little button there and YouTube will let you know when I upload new videos, which is several times a week. So hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you again on Busy Being Jen. Bye-bye.